throughout the performance. So you don't need to go to the gain of all the time, except it's important. But once you do a sound check, you get your gain structure right. It is very important. We must know that. Now, I think stage monitor. I want us to finish this tonight. So you pardon me, it's already 45 minutes. But I want you to pardon me so that we can finish this tonight. Then we can move forward for the another one that will be coming up. Now, stage monitors. It is best practice if the individual monitor loudspeaker enclosure are identical wedges. The drum monitor usually consists of stage wedge as the other, with the addition of some kind of sub and adequate reinforcement reinforcing the kick. You see, I will not want to dwell on this much because I'm already working on the setup and connection to mixer, to audio mixer, then know your audio cables and connectors. Then I'm also working on the loudspeaker system to power amplifier connection to them. So in that, we'll be able to lay more emphasis on stage monitor. But notwithstanding, from the advice they are giving us here, it means that whenever you are setting on the stage for a kick drum, then there must be a presence of woofer on the stage for the kick to be reflected. Most of what we set, I've been a victim too. I said I don't know that it is important that there must be a kick, a woofer for kick drum. We just set full range and we thought that we are giving them the best. But it is important that they have 18 inches also on the stage. I mean subwoofer for the kick. Also, the first octave of the bass guitar must be felt in the subwoofer on that stage. So it means that the bass guitar too will deflect on that subwoofer. So you can't set a stage monitor without a sub. That's what they are trying to tell us here. I know most of us, we do it. We just we put only those 15 inches monitor wedge or 12 inches monitor wedge. We forgot to add 18 to it. It is important. Even if it is 15 that is designed for subwoofer, we must have it on stage. It is very important. The drummer monitor should be by hand with the crossover of 100 to 150 Hz. This is between the sub and the mid-range loudspeaker enclosure. By having the drum monitor will minimize the headroom in both the subwoofer amplifier and the high-pass amplifier. I talked about this when Engineer Sholakoye was asking a question that if you don't want your talking drummer and your drummer to give you issue, create a subwoofer for them on stage and make sure you give them a good mix. Applying a by-hand system, it is very important. It is very important. So this is just an answer to that question that he asked the other time. So you can see that it's very important that we need to always have a subwoofer on stage, either 15 inches subwoofer or 18 inches subwoofer for the bass and the kick to be felt on stage. Not only front of us that we just concentrate our sub, but no, we have to also concentrate some sub on the stage. It is very, very important. Now, loudspeaker system. I would have loved to skip this one, but let's just go through it briefly because it's not into in-depth, but the PowerPoint for that, as I've told you, I'm working on it and it's going to come out very soon. When it come out, we'll continue, we'll start another series. You know, this series will be ending now. This series is on digital mixing console but the other series will be starting very soon. Really, I'm pro on it. I will make it available and I will create another time for the training. Loudspeaker systems offer a reactive component in the form of inductance and capacitance, which are more complicated forms of impedance. Capacitors are devices that can sustain an electric charge and offer more position to low frequencies or less position to current flow at high frequency of a loudspeaker. There is a certain amount of capacitance between the actual winding of a moving coil wire in the loudspeaker. All these things are the electronics aspect of a loudspeaker. I would like to go into full details of that in the next lecture. Yes, in the next series of lectures that I'm talking about that we're implementing. Now, it is for this reason that a loudspeaker manufacturer publish on their loudspeaker products the nominal impedance of a loudspeaker. You have to know a nominal impedance of a loudspeaker for you to be able to know the type of amplifier to attach to that loudspeaker system. This is to allow pro audio engineer to use the nominal impedance to calculate the power developed in the moving coil of the loudspeaker and thus simplify the basic loudspeaker power handling calculation to avoid blowing up your loudspeaker from power amplifier in sound reinforcement setup. In the next lecture that I'm talking about, you will see that loudspeaker doesn't burn or amplifier doesn't fry our loudspeaker. It is engineer that fried it. You say, oh, this amplifier is too high. This amplifier has spoiled my loudspeaker system. No, it is incompetent sound engineer or the engineer that burn loudspeaker. All those things are some facts that I will be pointing out to us that power amplifier doesn't burn speakers. I've never seen any amplifier that burns speakers. Yes, I'm repeating it. I've never seen any amplifier design that burns speakers. It is incompetent audio engineering that doesn't know how to calculate or doesn't know how to use impedance matching from amplifier to loudspeaker that burns speaker. You will agree with me when we get to the next series of training. You will agree with me that I'm really driving at the point that amplifier doesn't blow loudspeaker. It is incompetent audio engineer that blows loudspeaker. So I will go into details in the next lesson on that. You must also always verify your loudspeaker wiring with a simple 9-volt transistor-ready battery. Make sure the positive terminal of the battery is placed on the positive loudspeaker LED and the negative terminal to the negative loudspeaker LED. You will observe that the speaker will move out with some crack sound produced. If the loudspeaker move in, if the loudspeaker move in, then the lead needs to be reversed either at loudspeaker terminal itself or at the input jack plug or at the power amplifier output terminal. Note, this procedure is very vital point to follow so that so as not to blow your loudspeaker. You see what I mean? Some people, they don't know that those red and black, positive and negative in the loudspeaker system, positive and negative in amplifier is very important. You cannot mix it up. If you mix it up mistakenly, you blow your loudspeaker. That's just part of what we are talking about, that it is incompetent audio engineer that blows loudspeaker. Amplifier doesn't blow loudspeakers. We'll get into more details of that. Now, on the final note, a mix minus. I don't know if anybody is familiar with this. Probably because I'm in broadcast, I'm much familiar with mix minus. But you know that there are mix minus that we also do on digital console. And a mix minus is a way to describe an audio output from an audio mixing console. With this setup, the output of the audio mixer contains everything except a particular single input mix. In audio engineering, a mix minus or clean feed is particularly set up of a mixing console or matrix mixer. such that an output of the meter contains everything except a designated input. Now, let me explain this. If you are very familiar with digital mixing console, when you are doing your buses and you want to send some audio to your monitors, let me use the stage monitor. Maybe you take them out from bus 1 of your digital mixing console. On that stage monitor, you go in to highlight that particular bus 1. From that bus 1, you now see the faders that are routed into it. Now, in your monitor mix, I don't think it is palatable or advisable that you have the bass register inside the monitor mix. I mean, the floor monitors, the wedge. So you minus them. You do a mix minus by bringing them down. I don't think you need a bass register or a kick inside your floor monitors. You do a mix minus. You minus them from the mix. That, okay, from this my stage monitor, I want only voices and keyboards. So every other instrument are mix minus. That's just the simple. We use it in broadcast more, but it's also applicable for live sound in our audio day-to-day activities when we are doing a setup, especially on digital mixing console. So you can do a side feed. From your side feed, you may decide which one you want to mix minus, which one you want to minus. Probably from your side feed, you don't want too much of kick or keyboard because already you have provided combos. That's a combo system for the digital, for the bass guitar, and for the keyboard. So for your side feed, you may do a mix minus. So what will be coming from your side feed may be voices and probably maybe some other light instruments like saxophone and other. You may decide to put all those on. So a mix minus is very important. We cannot overemphasize it. Mix minus is often used to prevent echoes or feedback in broadcast or sound reinforcement system. So that's one of the reasons why we use mix minus, is to prevent echoes, feedbacks in broadcast or sound reinforcement system. So you can see that it is very, very expedient that we must know our mix minus. So I want to say a big thank you to everyone that have taken their time out to be with me for past 6 weeks. Engineer Shegun Foster, Damilare, and Moses. You have been a regular, and Engineer Solapo to have been a regular student on this. I really want to appreciate every one of you, and I really want to thank you for everything. These are the details of our company. You have the phone number on screens, our Facebook page, then our mail, and also the WhatsApp for the company. So you have all these things. For any information or anything you want to get across to me, or you have any questions or anything, you can easily reach me on this line. And I will really appreciate everyone that has turned up tonight. And I will say thank you so much and God bless you. But before we go, I want us to have our question. Maybe we just use 15 minutes for questions. 15 minutes. So let's go to question now. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much for the lecture, sir. Good evening, everyone, and good evening, sir. Great FedEx.
You're welcome. Good evening, Daniel.
The question I want to ask, yes, sir. The question I want to ask is about, I don't know if you have mentioned it some of these days when I come early. There is one particular issue in detecting the actual wattage of an amplifier. When you get to the market and you want to get an amplifier, I've discovered that most of the amplifiers we buy these days, most of them, not all, most of them, you will see them write 2,500 watts, and most of them are not up to that amount of power. The one they write like 2,500 watts, maybe 1,800. The ones they write 3,500 might be just 2,000. So I'm thinking, is there any way by which you can detect the actual wattage of the amplifier, irrespective of whatever is written on it? Is there a way, maybe a gadget or anything that can be used to detect the actual wattage of an amplifier? That's my question, sir. Thank you.
Okay, that's a nice one, Damilare. It's a good observation that you have just mentioned. But tonight I just paraphrased and I was saying that we'll be going to power some series after this one, which is connecting your equipment setup to audio mixer, know your audio cable, and also this issue of loudspeaker system to power amplifier, connection. Just like you have asked,
Okay.
I will not want to discuss it now. So when we get to that bridge, I want us to cross it. You understand? So when we get to that bridge, we'll cross it because definitely we are coming there. There are some calculations you needed to know. And once you know that calculation, like you are saying the measurement, we have digital meter that we use. Digital meters are used to measure voltage of a particular and the wattage. Is your voltage that will now calculate with the current to give you if that amplifier is actually bringing the wattage that was designed. So I don't know whether you know electronics voltmeter. Even there are some that these AC guys use. They just hang it across any of the audio cables. What's it called? These loudspeaker cables, and to give you the voltage. So once you see the voltage, it's time for you to look at your current. What's the current that is supplied? Then you just calculate it, and you know that this one is not bringing the actual voltage. But as I've said, when we get there, we'll cross over the bridge. Is there any other question for tonight? All right.
All right, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. You are welcome. So if there's no further question, I want to say thank you, everybody that have joined me throughout the almost going to 5 weeks of this training. I really appreciate your time for coming on board and online. And I want to say a big thank you. And by the grace of God, we'll continue with the next series. I just wanted to stay closer to this Telegrams app, Great Father International GFI Audio Engineers. That's why we're giving you a brief of when we are going to start the next series. For this series, I appreciate everybody that has stayed with me and that have made things work out. I can tell you, without you, there's nothing I can do because I'll just come here and be speaking to myself. But if I have 2 or 3 people that are online and we can have a good discussion like this, I'm okay with it. So I want to appreciate Engineer Shego Foster. I want to appreciate Damilare. I want to appreciate Moses. You have been an encouragement to me, and I really appreciate you all. And I pray that God will encourage you too. Thank you.
Amen.
And good night, everyone. Good night, everybody.
Yes, sir. Good night, sir.
Yeah, good night.